So here we go. This is the latest I've been on in a long time. But I must say that it's difficult to deal with overseas without being awake. So you gotta be awake. Then I have naps in between. And it's been really, really exciting. So if you see up there, we have a t-shirt that was made in black. And behind me again, that's the Mini Me t-shirt that Senpai Franklin got signed. It had just about everybody who came to the first UMAN OG event, September 20th of 2025, signed that shirt. So we had another event, and we had black shirts. And then we had one of those black shirts, and literally, I didn't know how to get these signed. So the solution is now, thank you. The solution is now that we have the white markers where Senpai, as we had our conversation today, and I want to give props to Senpai and also Senpai Franklin Rodriguez and Master Tyrone. Miss a little bit because these are my three helpers, so to speak. And today we were doing inventory, and we were trying to figure out ways to hook people up, basically. You know, the proceeds of what would be the new line, and I haven't officially announced it, but I'm going to do it now. The Unified Martial Arts Network, OGs. OGs are older guys and older girls. UMAN. It's pronounced UMAN. I know it's spelled UMAN, a lot of people say that, but it's UMAN, because we need you, man and woman, to make this thing happen. So the Unified Martial Arts Network, older guys, older girls, pro because it's professional. So it's UMAN OG Pro League. And that's for martial artists 30 plus. Now, we started the UMAN OG Pro line to support the league. Yeah, NFL has merchandising. Not too many martial arts circuits have merchandising, I understand that, but I don't know why. There's a little cap right here. This is an example. I think it looks pretty freaking cool, considering it's not the best of them all, because there isn't any embroidery on it. This is printed. But you know what? It's cost effective, and we're going to be selling these and embroidered one and multiple things. But as an example, that shirt right there now is a collector's item. And to have that box with all the names for a replica, that right there cost Senpai $580. We were able to get it just about half price. So if you guys want this, you can have it. Literally, it's $299. Now you're saying, how and why would someone do that? Because you have pioneers and legends on this that you can never, ever get again in one anything signed. That's 3 generations of J.J. Tauruses. Imagine that. The grandfather, the father, junior, and the third, the son. That's that in itself. So for those of you who actually have your name on there, you should be joining the UMAN OG Pro private group. That private group is the backbone of everything that we're doing. And for whatever it's worth, you guys get hooked up on a different level. In the meantime, we will be having, and I'm going to announce it right now. Generally speaking, when you get one of those black shirts, it usually retails presently for $30. However, now, anyone listening to this, unless you're OG, then find out what your deal is over at the private group. I invited a bunch of people. Request to be in it if you haven't, if you don't get the invite. But instead of being $30 right now, you can pay $25. Again, where does the proceeds go towards? So far, $6,500 worth of prize money that's going to be given away at the UMAN OG Pro Internationals. Again, why am I calling this pro? Because it's professionals. Professional means it's income. We're giving away quite a bit of money. And the black belt, I should say in the black belt sparring division, and I'm saying black belt because, guys, white belts to the brown belts, any belts can compete in this tournament. And, distracting me, beautiful.
Sorry.
So, anyway, literally, hun, I've been on this for just about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so far, what's the results you see? What kind of,
Ooh.
can you get one of the sweatshirts? I don't think you can even show that.
Yeah.
How about the other? Get one of each of the things. You already showed the t-shirt, so we don't need to show that again. But I'm going to show you guys something. Again, to me, martial arts is a way of life, and you should be able to earn an income with it. I always did and have. So going pro is something that I think everyone should do. So, as an example, yeah, okay. Is there anything else? I'm going blank. Oh, it's on my head. So you saw the t-shirt, and there's the hooded
This
sweatshirt.
is the hoodie, the
Yep.
front.
Yep. And then the back, you have a bigger logo. You know, martial arts and hip hop is part of both my genres, so it's combined. So you have that, and then of course you have the OGs. Can you go get me the? I'm gonna give you guys a. Give me the toe pads. So you see the cap, and the cap matches the shoes. They come perfectly.
Yeah.
And we also have these things here that you guys saw. And some of you are confused. They're saying, how in God's name are these going to be? Of course, if you're wearing these, then you probably need these.
Woo.
And for those of you who think those are sweat, yeah, for those of you who think, well, you can put it down. You can put it down. For those of you,
Socks.
yeah, no, I'll point this. So you can, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So for those of you who think I'm crazy, well, you're right. I'm crazy because to me, I mean, you guys got Yankee caps, you got Dallas Cowboy caps. I'm sure you guys got, you know, other sports, all the teams support. Well, the UMAN OG Pro League is self-contained, or will be self-contained with some finances, at least a portion of it, until it doesn't join ventures with other corporations. Like right now, we have a record label and martial arts school. And in addition to that, we have, no, I'm going to add one more. So, this are the sneakers, and these sneakers will be allowed, you'll be allowed to compete with these sneakers. The bottoms collapse if you've been seeing Master Time Night sparring. However, what you don't know is this. See the little pad? This little pad goes inside your sock, and from there, since this is micro mesh, it's flexible. So that's the padding that you have there on the socks. Now this collapses. I got hit with this, and it's a lot softer than your toe, a lot softer than your toe. So this is an invention that I created, and again, you can wear these shoes in the street. You can wear them for running. Oh my God, you can wear them for basketball. You can wear them for just about anything in terms of speed. Because there's holes here, so it helps you with the springing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put some testimonial videos. But again, this matches the cap, which matches the socks, which matches the shirt, which matches the hoodie, which matches, or I should say, which you can use in the street, just as a walking shoe or what have you. But with the padding in the sock, and it's comfortable. We already tested it, and this is the way to do it. So we are absolutely on our way. We have so far 8. We have a division that has 8 fighters already. What division is that? The 70 to 74. It's already filled up. We're getting ready to open up again to see if we can get 8 more. Presently, I'm gonna say this. Your guys can pay $50 for 3 divisions. Even though the tournament is September, time flies. And for those of you who complained that things were expensive, well, do it now. I mean, the earlier you do it, the cheaper it's going to be. Jersey City, where the event's going to be at. Oh my gosh, what an incredible city. So beautiful. I put some videos up. We did a whole walkthrough. The venue in New Jersey, or I should say in Jersey City. Oh my God, it sits 1,000 people on bleachers that are on the 2nd floor so everyone can see. And I'm going to officially announce, yes, the center ring will be a boxing ring. So the finals, which I initially announced were going to be in the auditorium, but they're not. This is the Robert L. Dickinson School. There is another high school that I was going to look at, and I still might do it, but I'm 99% convinced it's a standalone building from 1907 that's been well kept. It has its own separate, I should say, building gym. I'm assuming it was done at the same time. Maybe I'm wrong. And it's just an opportunity. People say, why would you get a venue so big? You know, your last event didn't have that many people. Well, we didn't have that many people who competed, but we had more than the people who competed had registered, and they just couldn't come to compete. So what I did was, I said, hey, we'll use that for a credit for your next event, which most tournaments would never do that, but that's what we did. It's called the right thing. Now, you know, we also have people that are so excited because they call me all the time, send me messages. It's an emotional roller coaster ride because we're the forgotten ones. You know, literally blood, sweat, and tears. In my case, blood. I gave up blood for this sport. And if I go to a national tournament, I'm only allowed to be on stage if I'm the judge. But if I'm a competitor, they don't want to hear anything about it. We're not involved. We're not allowed. And people keep just saying, well, it's just the way it is. Well, I don't give a goddamn. It's not the way it is in my life. I always respected my elders. And being 60 years young right now, 20 as I call it, it's heartbreaking to think what my elders, or how my elders have been treated. So instead of yapping about it and crying about it, which I did make attempts in other capacities to reset what was sport karate. Because today's modern day version, I can't even identify with it. And it's the lack of guidance, guys. When you don't know that you're extending your glove, and that's not a point, because your glove's not in there, that's called cheating, and you don't even know you're cheating because these people are coaching each other. It's so sad. Or that jab to the body with the open hand and the glove's not even in there, and the judges just pointing at each other as fast as possible. You know, I can't live in that world. It's bad enough we were doing martial arts that were controlled, but now it's out of control to me. So instead of crying about it, let that be the kids. That's where the kids go play. 29 and below, those are the kids. Why? My son's 42, so to me, those are kids. Who are the elders? Anyone who's 30 plus, which is still young, but the 30 plus already get moved away from the stage. Because by the time you're 40, you can't be on stage. So to us, that's the youngest buck. That's the young guys. And they compete from 30, 34, girls also, whether it's black belts or white belts. The best parents are grandparents, I believe, because the grandparents want the best for the grandkids, and sometimes the kids don't have the focus, and the grandparents remember how tough they had to be in life. So they're the ones that usually pay in full and make sure that they're there diligently while the kids are working. Now, that being the case, why not have them, grandparents, great-grandparents, learn how to protect themselves too? They wanted to. They were Bruce Lee fans. They were all Bruce Lee fans, so, and Muhammad Ali fans. So why not learn how to do some pugilism, some fighting? It's never too late, never too late. We had an 85-year-old that competed. 35 was the youngest. And now the youngest is 32. So the 32-year-old was the youngest competitor. So in the first 2 tournaments, I ranges from 32 to 85 so far. And if Little Bit competes, the next event, that'll be 30. So we'll have the full range. The underbelts have their own 8 divisions right downstairs. Underbelts go underground. And we start at 8 o'clock in the morning with 30-year-olds, and then 40-year-olds start at 9:30. And 50-year-olds start at 11 o'clock. 60-year-olds start at 12:30. And then finally, the 70-plus start at 2. And this includes beginner, intermediate, advanced, black belts, whether you're a new black belt, a pioneer, or a legend. So you literally have your own bracket, so your family and friends don't have to be there all day. You don't have to be there all day. I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's say for some reason you compete in the 30 division and you're done by 9:30. What to do? Well, if you made it to the finals or not, I would highly suggest you come back at 4 o'clock. What can you do between then and 4 o'clock? Well, how about take a 6-minute ferry ride to the World Trade Center or the tip of Manhattan? Now, I also heard this, and I was shocked. So let's say you go to the pier right there in Jersey City, and you take a boat, or I should say a cruise, to Yankee Stadium. Can you imagine the views of what that is? In other words, and if you're in New York, I suggest you do that too. We've never done things like that. We take things for granted. But the venue, the city, it's easier to get to than Brooklyn or Queens. You take the 4 train or just about any train to the World Trade Center, and you take the PATH train 2 stops. Now, the PATH train is not every half hour or anything like that. It's pretty much every 15 minutes, I believe. In other words, it's like a subway. And you take that for 2 stops. And you're smack in Jersey City. Now, the distance between there and the venue, Dickinson High School, it's a little walk. However, if you choose not to walk, then you can take a $2 cab. They got these cabs that go up and down. It's like they used to be called dollar cabs when you was in the 3, what they call the 3-digit, not the 3, the 3 fare ranges. Like when you lived out in Jamaica, Queens, or up in Throgs Neck, where the bus doesn't go down that way, or the train doesn't go back that way. They got these little vans that people it's easy to get to. And it's on a Sunday, so you don't have any excuses to what would be that your school's open, because it's not open on Sunday. And the first 2 events were phenomenal. They were test markets. Now, things are completely different. And the reason I say that is because we have sponsors. And if you're looking to become a sponsor, you can actually be a ring sponsor now. What I mean by ring is that we're going to have 10 rings upstairs, or 9. Let's say 9 rings. 8 around, 4 on the right, 4 on the left, and then the center ring, which is literally a ring. So we have the option of getting the sponsorship logo on the canvas of the ring, the side corners, canvas, so the side bumpers, so to speak, inside of the ring, the sponsors could have their names there also. We're going to do a magazine for this particular event, so all local businesses and sponsors can get their half a page, quarter page, full page in the magazine also. We have apparel. For example, this thing right here, that T-shirt, which is going to be a collector's item T-shirt because it has all the names of all the OGs. And of course, the new one is going to have also, this next event, people are going to be signing 2 different shirts. One of them is black, the other one is white. For the white marker, see right there, we discovered that it actually works. So that's what that is right there. So Senpai is showing it. And that being the case, this particular shirt, the sponsors of this event are going to be in the back of that shirt that people will be able to buy as a replica. Then we're going to do the new one for the next one. Now, this is one of the ways that I believe shows honor and respect for those people who are elders. No promoters have done many of these things before, and I don't care. In other words, I don't care if I have to change things. I'm doing this in the spirit of Great Grandmaster Aaron Banks, the legendary Mike Anderson, and Grandmaster Joe Corley, who are 3 of the best martial arts promoters of the time. Combine that with some martial arts and hip-hop and flavor and some creativity, and that's what this is about. So, yes, I own sneakers? Absolutely. Why not? We only made 300 of these 300 of these UMAN patches. So if you have one, you're one of only 300 people. So everyone who was at the event got a chance to get theirs, and once you register, you get yours too. So one of the things that I'm doing completely different, one day the opposite, we are not going to allow the gloves that everybody's using now, which is the foam dip gloves, I should say the one mold gloves that look like a boxing glove, because those things extend out and people hit each other without having their hand completely in the glove. Even by accident it happens. Master Ty and I, sometimes he's sparring with me, he throws it back fist and he doesn't completely close his hand or semi-closes his hand and it goes out for about 3 inches, and then we make knowledge of that. People fighting like that's a knife. They're fencing with the gloves. And we are not going to do that. We're adults. We have honor and we have respect. So with honor and respect, we have certain rules that are different. If I'm sparring with you and you hit me with a technique and the judges don't see it, I stop time and says, he got me. That's called the honor rule. And if for some reason the judges give me a point, when it wasn't in, he can turn around and say the same thing. I should say the other way around. And excuse me, it's kind of late. We will have certified judges, referees, officials, and we will have the official of the day award. So the honor rule says if I got scored on, I let the person know I got scored on. That's the honor rule. So that's the rule that you can exercise anytime. And believe me, if you do that, or the first time you do that, people are going to lose their mind. They go, oh my God, that person's so honest. And that's what this is about, right? Being honest, honor and respect. We forgot those values. We try to teach them in class, for those of you who have successful schools, but then once you go to tournament, it becomes a sport thing, right? People start yelling, two, and they're trying to manipulate what will be the judges. That's not going to happen any longer. Not on my watch. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen any longer. And there's a belief that martial arts is a sport, and just because you have competition doesn't make it into a sport. I mean, I don't believe that. There still has to be honor, respect, and values to uphold. One of the reasons why I came up with these sneakers is because the biggest fear for me is slipping or jamming my toe. In other words, injuries. I've seen mats literally get air and start floating the judges. I mean, that's crazy to me. But I've seen that happen. I've also seen mats, puzzle mats, where you go to the corner and all of a sudden the guy puts too much weight and it comes off and slips off. So if you're in your 20s or even teen, you're fine. Let that happen to an adult that might be a little overweight, and that knee may never be the same again. I've seen it happen. I'm paranoid. Then you have also mats that are too soft because they're made for grappling. And they use that in tournaments. And that takes bounces from your knees too. This is usually people who've never competed themselves, and if they did, they weren't fighters. Addressing the fighting issue, you win your division. Let's say we have two brackets. You have the younger and the older, meaning 30, 34, and then 35 to 39. So younger and older. And that happens in every age bracket, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and even 80. If we're able to get someone. If not, that's okay. But at least they have a venue in the near future. All these guys are going to become that age. Like the 70, 74, that already has 8 people. It's already closed division. Now I've got to add, open a new division. That's crazy, but that's what happened. So when the 30-year-olds fight against the 30-year-olds, they win the 30-year-old championship belt and $250, which is a nice day. Same thing with the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds. And then there's a grand champion amongst those 3 decades. And I know some people say, man, 30-year-old versus a 50-year-old. I've been beating the 30-year-olds and 20-year-olds for years, so you can do it. However, you already won your championship. So you're the champion, 30s champ, 40 champ, 50 champ, 60 champ, 70 champ, 80 champ. Now you get a chance to be a grand champion and get an additional $750. So the person who wins that is going to be able to win $1,000 that day. Now let's think about it. They have an open division, open weight division now, which is the biggest trend that comes from Europe, by the way. In the meantime, we invented sport karate, not the Europeans. We invented. They copied everything and learned everything from us. How do I know? Is a fact. Waco was even started by Mike Anderson. Yeah, he went up to George Bruckner over there in Germany, but it wasn't them. It was the American. And that's why it was created, because after the PKA, that he also invented, the Professional Karate Association, created that in 1974. They wanted to have another world championship, and they said, well, Real Knowledge, the executive producer of Wild World Sports, said, I don't know if these guys are really the top in the world, so you have to go develop a real sport. And they went to the IOC to petition Sport Karate, Mike Anderson and company. And Sport Karate was already petitioned by WUKO at the time, which was the World Union Karate World, to say the word, something like WUKO, where Tokyo won the first American gold medal in 1980 over in Spain. So WUKO was taken over by WKF, which is presently the leaders. It used to be with the Japanese ran things, now the Europeans are doing it again. The Europeans took over, which is fine if it made it better, but I don't think any Olympic martial arts has made it better. Look at what they've done to Taekwondo. I cannot identify with that, and I come from Taekwondo. I cannot identify with what would be Olympic Taekwondo. It's insane. Olympic karate or WKF karate, they jump around. You know, it's insane how they just cloned everybody to fight a specific sport, which I see now. People hop twice, switch, hop, go. Like, what are you doing? If everybody's doing the same thing, how in God's name are you going to have great matches when it's only people doing the same thing? They're doing the same drills. By definition, you can only win if you do something different. And that's what I love about yesteryear. You come to the UMAN OG tournament and the headgear is optional. Now, mind you, headgear is optional, but if you need a headgear, even that day, the Unified Martial Arts Network, UMAN OG, right here, this right here, we got our own headgears. Yep, they're foam dip headgears. Why? If you're buying these things already, why not support the league that literally benefits from, in other words, that will support you? I'm just saying, that's what I believe. Gloves, I made new gloves. They look like MMA gloves. They support the wrist a lot more. They literally have a bigger padding, almost like the traditional gloves, like the WK gloves, KF gloves, but they're made out of leather, so they'll last long, and they open hands, so you can grab the person and sweep them. As another thing too, I watch these videos of these people sweeping person, front leg or the back leg. They allow the back leg, but no follow-up. The sweep was always half of the whole thing. A sweep with an immediate follow-up. They gave people 2 seconds. It wasn't, just sweep the person and that's the point. That's what Waco does, and a lot of the people or organizations who copied that. Plus, on top of that, I'm gonna say it again. You win the world championship supposedly, and maybe there's 10 countries there if you're lucky, and most of the organizations. And when you come home with this nice medal, which is cool, right? You had a chance to interact with people, that's cool. But it was pretty costly to get there, especially when we go to France in the next one, new organization that came about that splintered off from another one, because there's always a breakup. And when it's all said and done, the organizations really do well. The competitors don't make one red cent. Yes, possibly they do some seminars after, but not even in 30s, 40s, or 50s. They may not even have a category for you at age 60. Now, yes, there is a new trend, and people started to be influenced, maybe copy, whatever you want to call it. And I don't care. I anticipate that's going to happen, so I can go compete in those divisions that actually have some money. Why? Why money? Because I'm a pro. Damn it, I'm a professional. If the tournaments didn't give away any money and they have sponsors, then why they charge us to compete? It just doesn't make any sense, because I always had to earn money via martial arts. So I became a professional at age 17 and I started teaching. Actually, it's age 16. Age 16 I started teaching for martial arts. So the day I got paid the first time, right downstairs in the Head Start, that was already me going pro. Then I did my first seminar when I was 18 for O-Sensei Phyllis Vasquez, who is the 8th person to register to compete in the 70 to 74 division. How's that? He's going to do weapons and forms too. And I'm just ecstatic. You know, he came to the first tournament as a spectator. He had himself and 5 other black belts paid to judge. I should say paid to spectate, not judge. We also had the legendary Leroy Superfeet Taylor, who said, I'm going to come and I'm going to compete. I'm a judge. I said, whoa. No. If you're going to compete, you're going to focus on that and win. Don't judge. We'll have judges for that. And I have 2 of my black belts so far from yesteryear. They're going to come and be certified judges, referees. And for those of you, I'm looking for the Fontenay Martial Arts alumni to come and participate in the capacity of referees, judges, officials. And you will be compensated financially because we do have a budget for that. Not huge, but they say in the land of the man with one eye, in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. So we do have a budget for judges too. So a lot of good things are happening. You saw some of the apparel. We do have, like I said, headgears, gloves that I made, not foam dip gloves. These gloves are leather for the pros because I think when you hit each other, you want to make sure you keep yourself safe. Then we have the groin cup. I even got the groin cup with the logo on it. Why not? Come on now. You know, older people like to coordinate. We don't like to wear different brands. Coordinate. That being the case, we even got boxer shorts so far. I'm working on my briefs. I don't use tidy whities, but I use tidy what will be multiple colors. Maybe that's too much information. Oh my God, I hope I don't get in trouble. But what I'm saying is that, why not? I look at sports and I see people with all types of commemorative things, and why not martial arts? Why not have signatures on a shirt? Why not have something that creates a value? You know, raise your standards. Why do we always have to be like welfare recipient? You know, we train like professionals, and then we get paid like amateurs or don't get paid at all, which makes you an amateur. And the promoters, even though, listen to me, the most promoters are not earning a lot of money because they do not have the general public to come. So I am working in conjunction with every single one of the people involved. You should have spectators there that are non-martial artists, what would be family and friends. So how do you do that? Well, co-workers, general public, you know, you can help out with having, if every competitor had 3 people, and that was the foundation, so you have a booster club of people cheering for you. They come around the time that you're going to compete because you give them a schedule. They can leave and come back to the finals if you're in the finals or not. Their ticket presently, their $20 ticket, will let them into the eliminations and the finals in the general seating, which is up in the top. So you can see every ring from up there. Now we can be on the floor. There's an option, and that'll be additional cost. Stay tuned for that. Then ringside, of course, the VIP, the ringside, the first 3 rows. That's a different level. That's where entertainers and politicians will be situated. I'm calling everybody that I know to help in whatever capacity. Now, for those of you who would like to help with what would be it's sponsorship, but it's not sponsorship. In other words, it's donations. Those donations will not come to us without it affecting and helping other people. So if you send $50, and we're going to put a link, before I go to bed, honey, I'm going to have to do it. I'm sorry. It's 2:15 right now. Before I go to work, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to put together a fundraiser page, and you're going to know exactly who you sponsor. There's people that have given me $50, and people giving me $200. And the gentleman gave me, for his tournament he promotes, and his school he promotes, the Faith Fighters himself, Sensei Carl Matthews, sponsored. And his logo will be on a legendary shirt. Keep getting tongue twisted, I'm tired. And people worldwide are going to see that. We're only making 100 shirts too. I'm making 100 shirts on purpose. Those of you who want this shirt, it's going to be a little pricey. However, it'll be worth it. So presently, for the general public, not the OGs, please go to your OG site. I should say go to the OG Pro private page. But this will be a $75 shirt that has all these names on it. Legendary. The shirt itself will be replicated. I'm just waiting for a few more sponsors or people that are donating, because the donators are going to have their names in the back right next to the sponsors of that particular shirt. And then we're going to make new ones. Of course, you see the black one that we're white. So there's a lot of things that are happening. And again, where are the proceeds of that going to? It's for the league. We got so far $6,500 of capital that are going to be spread throughout forms, because forms and weapons are together, and fighting. Women included, absolutely. So let's say you're 60 years young, great-grandmother or grandmother. You could be the youngest person in the 60-64 white belt beginner division. No problem. You do forms. If you're 70, there's a division for you too, as a white belt, as an intermediate, as an advanced. No problem. We have more than enough space, and we're going to get a lot of help from people to do this. So my point is that this is what I would consider a wake-up call. For those of you who have taken yourselves for granted, put your chest up, dust off that uniform, start training. You might need some help when it comes to motivation. You might need help when it comes to wearing tactile patches that'll help you get more balance and coordination, all types of different things. Maybe you need some peptides that have made a big difference in my life already. And I'm not talking about the $799 ones that didn't work that I actually took in tablet. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the real deal ones. Contact me if you need that too, for your injuries or what have you. Even expanding your telomeres, which is the telomeres, which expands life expectancy. I'm into all that stuff, guys. I'm 60 years young, and I want to make sure, thank you, that I just let everybody know that there is a new. This is how it goes from the old to the new. The old now becomes the new. Every technique is 1 point. I am going to start interviewing people again. I'm going to interview at least 2 people this week. Some will be spectators, some will be competitors, some will be timekeepers, some will be scorekeepers, some will be center referees. But all of them are important. Us one, I say us one because I really, really honestly mean it. All of us are important, and it breaks my heart when people don't realize that. Do you know that you're a heavenly body? Do you know that when you go into a room, the entire room, mathematically, scientifically, it changes just because of your presence? You are God's greatest creation. And God gave us the creative, so I can have merchandise. I can have what would be. It's not just the sneakers, but then we have right inside there with the sock, you have your, I had to come up with a good name, toe pad. Here's your toe pad. Put it inside there, but inside your socks, and then it'll pad this up right there in the tip, and you're good. Even without that, it's better than trust me, it's better than your toes. And this is for the purpose of protecting yourself, believe it or not. That's what all the equipment is supposed to be. Faulty equipment, like they have, these guys don't even have hand wraps on, or they have their glove and they swing it. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. And then they develop muscle memory. Muscle memory means you end up slapping people, God forbid, in a street situation. When sparring is supposed to be self-defense sparring, you're supposed to trap and do what you have to do. Even though I block and I throw a reverse punch, quite often I'm blocking and I'm elbowing that in my mind. When I'm behind Master Ty and I disarm his glove and I'm elbowing him to the face. No, you don't see that, but in my mind I'm doing it. When he jumps up, I'm taking him down and slamming him. I don't do it, but in my mind, I would be going to jail. That's how you use martial arts to increase your ability to get home safe. By practicing something that's practical. It's impractical when it comes to how people sometimes set it up, prearrange things. Muscle memory means that you won't be able to, you're going to have some habits, whether it's sparring with no gloves and then you hit the person to the body with an open hand because you don't want to hurt them, or you go to their face, open hand, oh, I'm just trying to be safe. And then in the street situation, you hit someone with that and they're going to hit you with a real punch. They may not know karate, but they know crazy. And I think that you might be crazy if you think that's karate, you know? So again, getting to New Jersey, I had a conversation with one of my students, it's a grandson in martial arts, which was also a classmate. And he said, sir, I can't go to the tournament. What? It's in New Jersey. And he said it like, I'm like, listen, you take the 4 train to the World Trade Center, and you take the PATH train 2 stops, and you're there. If I was going to Coney Island, it would take me double the time to get there than to get to New Jersey, because it's in Jersey City. Jersey City is right over the Hudson River, and right next to Jersey City is Hoboken, which has its own ferry. Next to Hoboken is, I'm going blank. Hoboken and not Mattawan. Oh my gosh.
I forgot it too.
Yeah. Anyway, Weehawken. So Weehawken, Jersey, Weehawken, Hoboken, and then Jersey City. They side by side, but Weehawken is small. Hoboken is only 1 square mile, and behind it is Jersey City, and besides it too. The point is that it's very accessible. And those of you from other parts of New Jersey, is right off of Route 9 and or I should say the Turnpike. Off of the Turnpike, and there's another highway that's right there, but let's say the Turnpike, which is the main one. The Hudson River is right there. I should say the Holland Tunnel is right there. You're on the other side. There's so many ways to get there. So much easier. And you don't need a car to do it. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want. Guys, and the reason I'm going over these explicit details because people keep asking me and they just don't get it. The entry fee for spectators presently is $20. $20 for what? For the daytime and the eliminations. The parking will be free for those who are paying in advance. In other words, you will get your parking voucher included with your spectator fee. That you don't, if you come to the door and you don't have that, then you're gonna pay $5, which I don't think there's a cheaper parking that you can ever get to. $5, because we will have security on the grounds. So again, I told you about the equipment, how it supports the circuit. Told you about the referees, how we're gonna have some funds for them too. I told them how we got different age brackets on specific times. I gave you that schedule. I mentioned how we are going to have a fundraiser page for those people. See, if you sponsor $50 and you have a 70-year-old woman competing because of you, I think that's kind of cool. And it's not that, that it's a lot of money, but they'll feel better. Hey, I got sponsors. If you want to sponsor, listen, let's say you want to sponsor 10 people, and it's presently $50 per person. And they get 3 divisions, which is normally $150 alone. At tournaments that don't even give away any money. And here, they're going to make quite a bit of income potentially. Then I would literally, for $500, I would have your name behind of the t-shirt, because you are a real supporter. You will get, how about this, son?
What?
Let's keep it real simple. You pay $500 as a support, and I will give you, in addition to what would be having your name on this, having your name on the banner, but you also get 10 spectator tickets that at the door they're worth $50 a piece. Awesome. Why not? Right now, yep, they're worth $20 a piece. So why not? I'll give you 10. If you do half of that, I'll give you 5. So for $250, you get 5 spectator tickets. How about this, hon? I'm gonna make it even better. If you are a sponsor or donator and you do $500, then I'm gonna give you a little package. You're going to get 10 tickets. They can give away to people, sell them. If you sell them at $50 a pop, no, actually you can't do it at $45 a pop because it'll be at the door. You can't do it that day. It's called scalping, But my point is that you have a $500 value in tickets alone at the door. But we'll give you one ticket to the VIP. And what's the VIP? The VIP will be on the floor, not in the general admission, but on the floor somewhere near the ring. And maybe we're in the first 5 rows of the ring. How's that? We're in the first 5 rows of the ring. You'll get a ticket in the VIP area. It won't be directly ringside. That's for the sponsors and celebrities that we have coming in. But how's that?
Yeah.
Now the value of that ticket, you know how much it's gonna be, honey?
How much?
$100.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
VIP tickets, which puts you on the floor, $100. $100. Spectator tickets that day, eliminations and finals, $50. People thought we were joking last time. Like, this is support to support us. And if you don't want to pay $50, then do it now. It's $20. So I keep adding things. Now, on top of that, let's see. We'll put together a package, a little care package for that sponsor that does the 500. And it'll be, right now we're already valued at 600 just with that. Then if you put your logo on there, whether it's your school or yourself, then that becomes part of history. And then in addition to that, I'll interview you and make you your comic book. How's that? I'll interview you and make your comic book between 10 and 12 pages, which is your story, whatever it is. If you own the business, it'll be your business story. And that's valued at least at $500. And that's the truth. We can do that. In addition to that, the interview itself will be ongoing for years to come. We're going to have a banner up here, meaning throughout me, working on it. And in that banner, we're going to have the sponsors and the supporters. And so that's $500. Oh, and I'm at one more thing. If for some reason you do need a table, I'll have you have a table also, because there's vending positions. There are spaces for vendors, guys. And the vendor page, the vendor table on average will be $100. And we have space for at least 10. And all these things, again, is to support the league. And we appreciate it. The equipment, the t-shirts, everything. It's to support the Unified Martial Arts Network, OGs, all the guys and all the girls, professional league. So far, $6,500 of monies that'll be given out for prize. And I know you guys say, we don't need the money, some of you guys, but I'm saying, are you crazy? You can't pay without your bills. And if you don't need the money, ask your wife or your girlfriend. And if for some reason you can't come because of your wife or girlfriend, that means that you're probably a battered husband, in the sense that at least once a year, let them come and see you do something. You watch them all the time. Happy wife, happy life. Forget that crap. Happy family, happy life. Husbands are included, children too. It shouldn't just be the wife, the children, and the dogs or the animals. It should be, you also. Step up. Get some cojones, as my mother used to say, some chutzpah. Get some balls. What happened? You guys were hardcore at one point. Now you're freaking soft. And I know it's because you don't want to go to jail or because things used to be different. But all I'm saying is that you deserve to be loved and appreciated also. Your guys do things that are so important, and a lot of times it's taken for granted just because we're a man. But let them come and see you, support you once a year, twice a year. How's that? Anyhow, I must say that, I'm not sure if he's still here, but Justo, who I nicknamed him Just Sweeps. And if you think he's going to do Just Sweeps, you'll be in trouble, because if you see that highlight reel, Justo also did just a spinning hook to the head to somebody over there right after the sweep. And he didn't sweep as many people as he wanted, because he actually felt a little bad. He didn't want them to get hurt. So we all gonna have, honey, I'm gonna say something else. Even though I don't wear these, but for those who need it, I'm even gonna make the elbow patch. In case you get swept and you hit the elbow, I don't want you guys to get hurt, so I'm gonna actually put that in addition to that. So when it comes to merchandise and apparel, all it took was one guy, which was Kevin Mongoose Thomas, to say, hey, how about the hoodies? And if you rewind this, guys, you see the hoodies. And yes, the black t-shirts, this is to prove that we can write on them. And yes, if your name is on this, oh my gosh, you're part of a shrine of martial arts. You're the first one, but not the first internationals. The first internationals is September 20th. 1 year anniversary. See, anniversary, 1 year after. So the 1 year anniversary of this event from a national is going to become an international. That's the intentions. So we're going to invite people. So those of you who think you have ideas to help out, guys, please contact me, because we, all of us, have a financial vested interest, or at the very least, an emotional. And it takes a village. It takes a village to take care of an elder also. On that note, I want to thank you. Hats available. Go to UMAN OG Pro to get all your discounted prices on a whole other level. But everything, since we're in pre-launch, you guys are going to be paying less, 25% on average, for what would be all your headgear, gloves, groin cup, shin guard, sneakers and or boots across the board. And that's for starter. We always got a backpack, got a duffel bag, we got shorts, we got socks, shorts meaning shorts, swim shorts, boxers, and the other shorts are boxer shorts when you go night-night. And for those of you who think I'm crazy, when you see the pillowcases and the bed sheet, you can be like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and I got jeans coming too. Anyhow. And for those of you who are asking, are you going to bring back that other thing? You just wait. God bless you guys. Thank you for watching. AB.
See ya.
See ya. We out of here. I'm Grandmaster Jerry Fast Feet Fontanez, and I'm the founder of the Unified Martial Arts Network. 2006. 2007, we had our first event.